What's up guys, welcome back to CardSpot. My name is Ethan and today I got something a bit spicy for you. We're doing a deck profile. Here in New Zealand, in Auckland in particular, we had a bunch of OTS Championships and I managed to get top 8 at one of them with this very deck. I should mention that top 8 is not that good given that there was like 18 players, but it's good clickbait for the thumbnail. Okay, so this is the deck that I'm playing. It is Heroes, and it is a 42 card deck. We'll run through the main, the extra, and the side deck, and I'll give you a bit of a talk through as we go. You've seen deck profiles before. So, starting it off, we got 3 of the best boy. That is the Stratos. Obviously, he's your main searcher, which is always very nice. We got the Neos, which you need for the new combo with Infernal Rage. And then also for the hero package, or the elemental hero package, we've got Shadow Mist and Liquid Soldier. These, honestly, Shadow Mist is okay. Liquid Soldier, I ended up siding out a lot. It's just not that useful. Like, yeah, sure, summoning this and then specialing this is okay. If you want to go into like Baguska or something, and then of course you can get a search of the mask change. But other than that, I mean, getting like Miracle Fusioning him to draw 2, discard 1, like it's fine. It's all fine, but it doesn't come up a lot. So I ended up siding him out. So that's it for the E heroes. For the D heroes, we've got 2 melee and a denier. This is pretty much standard for your combos. You're always going to run one because denier basically gives you 3 melees. If they ever put melee back to 3, it would be 4, which is really nice. Then we've got the lock. So this is the deck's gimmick puppet nightmare, basically. It locks your opponent out of spells, which is really nice. You've got to be making sure when you summon this to your opponent's side of the field that you haven't left any of your monsters in attack position, because then they can just suicide into it and then you carry on. So that's a little trick. And then the other Destiny hero we're playing is Plasma. I sided that out a lot as well, honestly. Having 3 tributes for this guy, having 3 monsters that you want to tribute for him is not super common. Generally, you'll have like a DPE, and you might have like a huge Shining Neos wingman. Is that what he's called? Something like that. And you don't generally want to tribute them. So Plasma got sided out a lot as well. Obviously, if you can make him, and his skill drone effect is really useful against some decks, so that's not so bad. For Vision Heroes, we've got 3 Ferris and 2 Increase. This is obviously the big debate, is 1 or 2 Increase. 3 Ferris is pretty much a given. Increase, I drew this card like it was glued to my hand, so I'm very, very glad I was playing 2, and honestly wouldn't consider playing less than 2 because of that, because if you draw this, your combo is basically dead. The annoying thing is that this becomes a continuous trap, so your opponent can pop it with spell or trap removal, like they can just Cosmic Cyclone it and banish it, and then you've got nothing to continue on your Vision Hero package. So it's a painful card, but you have to run 2 of it. And then there's Vion. Vion is your dumper. He dumps a D hero, or just a hero in general, and it searches polymerization as well, which is really nice because obviously this deck likes to have a poly in hand. So that's the Vision Hero package, and that's it for monsters. I didn't play any hand traps. There's not a lot of space in this deck. Like, some people will play only 2 Stratos, they'll cut down on the Liquid Soldier, etc, etc. I just wanted to try and play a really hero-centric build and see how that went. So for spells, we've got 3 A Hero Lives, obviously one of the best spells in the deck, and that is accompanied with 3 Fusion Destinies, which is another of the best spells in the deck. There's some nice hero-centric support in here. I don't know that there's a huge amount to say with this. Fusion Destiny does lock you into dark heroes. That I thought was going to be problematic, but it's actually not. Like, a lot of them are dark. It just means you can't go into some of the E-Hero fusions, but like all of your Link monsters and the Destiny Hero fusions are dark. So I played 1 DPE and 1 Dangerous. I think I would definitely play 2 DPE in the future. Then we got your Miracle Fusion, which you have to play. You can search it off Sunrise, and it is just such a good card. 1 is definitely enough. I guess you could play 2, but I think, for me, I think 1 was enough because it does end up being a dead draw early game. And then 2 Mask Change, which is, I mean, Oddly enough, I actually didn't really draw these and didn't get the opportunity to search them much, but Dark Law is so strong that why would you not, right? Like, going DPE Dark Law on your first turn, yeah, that's pretty nice. Then we got the Poly as well to search off Vion. For the defensive spells, we got 3 Droplet and 3 Book. Droplet is really cool. You can do some really nice stuff, like when I had Favorite Contact set, I would activate Favorite Contact and then chain Droplet sending Favorite Contact, and some funky stuff like that. But it is really good, just effect negation. Book of Moon, obviously we all know why this is being played. It gets around so much stuff, but it also gets your Stratos around Imperm, which is really nice. So if you really need to get to a Ferris or something like that to start your combo, you can summon your Stratos, they Imperm it, you just book it. Happy days, you can kind of still do your thing because you can fusion with face down monsters, which is really nice. For the one-ofs, I'm going to throw them all down. Quickly go through. So Foolish, of course, to dumping your D heroes or your Shadow Mist, there's always good targets for Foolish. Rota searches your Stratos and all your other heroes that are level 4 or lower. Called By, because this deck does lose to Droll, so you kind of want to have something to survive Droll. You can get Ashed and still be okay, but Called By is really important. And then the triple tactics, 1 talent and 1 thrust. Honestly, I would probably swap this out for a second thrust, because you don't generally want to thrust into your talents. You kind of want to thrust into like Fusion Destiny or a Hero Lives or something like that if you have that opportunity, so that's probably where I'd go with it. So maybe a second second thrust, but talents are still pretty nice. For the traps, it's pretty simple. You got your favorite contact, which of course you have to search off the Infernal Rage, and then just 2 Imperms. I didn't want to play 3 because I wanted to keep the deck at 42 cards, and honestly I drew these like a mofo as well. I thought I was playing 3 Imperms because I drew them so much, but it turns out it was just 2. So yeah, there we go. So that's the main deck, 42 cards. Onto the extra deck. So for the hero fusions, we've got Absolute Zero, which is simply a Miracle Fusion target. You can bring him out with Liquid Soldier and another hero, and yeah, he's pretty good still. You know, a board wipe is a board wipe. Well, I guess a monster wipe, not quite a board wipe. We got Sunrise. He's obviously kind of mandatory as well for the main combo. He searches your Miracle Fusion and you bring him out off Infernal Rage. Speaking of which, we've got Infernal Rage. Infernal Rage searches your favorite hero, and then if you've fusioned him with a normal monster, which is what the Neos is for, then you get to tribute him and bring out Sunrise. We've got Shining Neos Wingman, which is brought out from favorite contact. You shuffle back Infernal Rage and Neos in your graveyard or banish zone or wherever. Probably your banish zone, because chances are you will have banished them off Miracle Fusion. And this guy gets to be like 6,400, I believe, from the standard combo, which is huge. He can't be destroyed by card effects, and he can't be returned to the extra deck if you shuffled back Neos to bring him out. So it's pretty nice. Then, of course, you've got Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, which is just a Miracle Fusion your whole graveyard away and try and attack for game. I did that once, and unfortunately they had an attack stopper in their hand, which is really annoying. So these are the Elemental Hero fusions. Pretty much, there's nothing you can really cut. I mean, I guess you could cut Absolute Zero. These 4 are integral to the main combo, so you definitely need them. Absolute Zero, I guess he could go, but he is really good utility. For the Masked Heroes, I've got 1 Dark Law and 1 Blast. This is just because I couldn't get a second Dark Law in time. You're meant to play 2, because 1 is not quite enough, although I really ever only summoned 1 in a game, to be honest, so I didn't really have too much of a problem with that. Blast is just another target, because you do play a lot of wins, because you've got 3 Stratos, you've got the Infernal Rage, so this is just another option at getting around, like dodging Imperms and things like that. So that's why he's in there. Acid you don't really need, even though it's good, but chances are you're not going to be mask changing your Liquid Soldier or Absolute Zero that much. For Destiny Hero Fusions, as I mentioned, I play Dangerous and DPE. I would probably play a second DPE over the Dangerous. There wasn't really a situation where Dangerous was better than DPE off like a Fusion Destiny or something, so yeah, I think I'd probably just go the second DPE. 1 Baguska. Because there's a lot of level 4s in this deck, and sometimes you just draw like shit. So sitting behind a Baguska for a while is just nice. For the extra hero package, we have 2 Cross Crusader, which is super integral. There's actually 4 that are integral to your combo, which are these 4. Well, 1 Cross Crusader and then these 2. So what you generally do is go into the Infernal Divisor first, because it is a fiend. So you notice that Cross Crusader needs 2 warriors. Infernal Divisor and Wonder Driver just need 2 heroes. So you go into Infernal Divisor first with your 2 heroes, then you link him off for Wonder Driver because it also needs 2 heroes, then you link that off for this guy, which needs 2 warriors, because you can't go into this and another hero into Cross Crusader because it's not a warrior. So there you go, that's kind of the general. And then in addition to those guys, I also played a Dread Decimator. This was my second masked hero, Dark Law, basically just because he can get quite big, and you can just kind of attack the full game, but that's really it. I don't think I actually ever made him, so yeah, probably a second Dark Law is better off. Side deck, there's pretty janky side deck, honestly. I haven't played in a long time, I'm going to preface that, and this is my first weekend playing in a while, so I was just kind of looking at what everyone else is playing and trying to see what I had that I could use. So we started off with 2 Lava Golems, just for any hard to remove things, you know, like Pearly if they bring out a second monster, or like even against like Mirror Jade and things like that, it's still nice. So there's still relevance to Lava Golem. He is just 2 instead of 3 like Sphere Mode, or 1 like a Kaiju. So yeah, thought he was okay. Then Book of Eclipse. So if my Book of Moons weren't cutting it, generally against like Kashtira and things like that, just flip their whole field face down and then you can go off and do your combos. Everyone's kind of playing it at the moment. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. 1 Herald of the Abyss for Pearly, basically just to get rid of the big old, what is it, Noir? Is it Noir? Whatever the towers one is, you just slap this down, pay 1500, and they have to send it to the grave. 3 Evenly Matched, because Labyrinth is a thing. Like, this is a really good blowout card against Labyrinth if you can get this off. Yeah, they'll be able to chain some to it, but it still means that hopefully you can at least hit a few of their cards, get them banished. So yeah, pretty, and I mean, it's just a great utility card against a lot of decks, really. There's a lot of rogue in Auckland, so it was just like, well, let's cover my bases. And then these ones kind of go together. We got the Gozens and the Rivalries, and the old floodgates. I found myself siding in Rivalry a lot more than Gozen. I think there's probably like types more than attributes. I think there's a few decks where it's just like, oh yeah, they're pretty much mainly 1 attribute. It's probably not going to be as useful. But like types, oh boy, that was good. The nice thing is, if you can set up, like if you're going first and maybe round 2 or 3, or game 2 or 3, if you can set up a Dark Angel lock with one of these, preferably a Rivalry, that's pretty solid. That's hard to play out of with just monster effects. So those are really nice if you're going first. Just set those and just, okay, you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, basically. But that's it. That is the deck. So it was a lot of fun to play. Like, yes, the deck is not super strong. The support that it's had over the last little while is nice, but it's definitely not enough to keep it sort of keeping up with some of the newer decks that are coming out. But yeah, a lot of fun to play, and I feel like I did okay with it, given that I had not played the deck at the start of the weekend. This is what I ended up with by the end of the weekend, and sort of making a few tweaks and changes between tournaments. So yeah, that is it. So if you've enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I'm probably going to get into doing a bit more deck profiles in the future, which will be pretty cool. Feel free to let me know what you think of the deck in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video.